Birmingham. We are outside Legion Field.
The sights and sounds of college football continue tonight.
Labor Day at the beach. Notre Dame and Michigan is the runner.
My father's a hockey fan. He tells me stories about going to see the Bruins back in the day with his father. You know, it's definitely get passed down from generation to generation, that's for sure. What we've started together as far as our collection goes, we call it Drop the Gloves. What we like to try to do is concentrate on collecting the enforcer jerseys, the fighters of the games, the cement mixers, whatever you want to call them. Definitely a certain smell that hits you to let you know that you're in a hockey game.
Hockey fan is definitely not fair weather. I mean, Christ, if a real hockey fan was fair weather, then there would not be one Bruins fan in the world.
Welcome to the world of Drop the Gloves.
Why are fans so fascinated by the violent side of the game? We got the story of a local man who's making a living on that fascination.
Fascinating thing going on. It's called, it's dropthegloves.com. It's all, well, I'll tell you all about it. You're not going to believe it. We'll tell you about a local man who makes his living off of fans who just can't get enough of these kind of hockey fights, and the National Hockey League's enforcers like Chris was.
It has
Still on it?
more blood stains on a sweater than I've actually ever seen. This must have been towards the end of the year, so what they did was they didn't obviously clean it off for him.
And of course you wouldn't either. You never want to wash it.
Absolutely not. This is definitely in this, you know, a great piece overall in Bruin history, that's for sure.
Oh, all right, back to the hockey story and the violence that goes along with it. One local man would argue it's not all that bad. After all, he's managing to make a pretty interesting living off of it. The business is called Drop the Gloves. It specializes in game-worn and fight-worn jerseys of hockey enforcers. Steve Burton got a first-hand look this afternoon.
Show us what you got here.
Absolutely. One of our favorite pieces in the office is from Buffalo bad boy assistant captain Robert Ray, who particularly does not like his jersey to come off his back in his fights. And he's done a very interesting system
Look
in
at
here.
this.
He put a child's car seat care system in the back here, and also put a bungee cord system down in the front.
To strap him in?
To strap him right in so the sweater will not come off his back in any of his bouts.
Is that legal?
That falls into a gray area as far as I'm concerned. Jersey modifications are not legal anymore, but that very well may be because he wants to keep it on his back.
Look at this. You got sticks over here.
Absolutely.
Oh, he's going to love this.
One from Chris Nyland's days with the Montreal Canadiens, and it's a very nice example, uncracked one from when he was with the team. He actually had to cut it down a little bit with a hacksaw to accommodate for his size.
This is the famous butt end.
That is the butt end that took out the bridge work of the Bruins captain in '85-'86, that's for sure. But other guys do specific things by cutting down the sticks as well for other purposes. Nyland does it to accommodate for his height. This is a Probert stick we have from the Detroit Red Wings from the mid-'80s, and he's actually taken a hacksaw and cut off the blade itself so we can, you know...
Cut off the tip of his stick?
Cut off the tip of his stick
Why?
to make it a little bit sharper so he can jag people in the corners, give it to him in the ribs maybe a little bit extra.
Now, is that legal?
Absolutely not. There's no way, shape, or form, but it's great and it's hockey and I love it, that's for sure.
You got a helmet over here.
Indeed we do.
This is how crazy these hockey players get. What is going on with this?
This one was worn by Kevin Killer Kaminsky, who's just a little guy, and he's one of the best enforcers. He racks up great minutes, and since he's so small, to accommodate for the differences in some of the bigger guys, he's taken a scalpel, and he's actually made ridges all along the front of it, so when you punch it and you go ahead and throw a punch, your fingers and knuckles will get cut up a little bit, and you'll need more than 5 minutes in the box to come out, and you won't be able to help your team the rest of the night.
You got gloves on the table?
Yes, we do, and the interesting part about this is they were actually cut and then restitched by the equipment manager.
They cut on purpose?
Cut on purpose, just so that all he has to do is straighten his fingers and they fall out. Drop the gloves.
This is an example from Brashear's early days with Vancouver. The thing is heavily pounded, as we say, with great game wear. It's got
and it's got
grease all
marks and
over it.
stuff on it.
Stick and puck marks, indeed. And It's been torn down the back of the neck and heavily repaired with stitch work, and if you look inside the collar, you can see it's all pulled apart as well. And you know, Marty was obviously in a couple of dances, as we say, with this one. And as Marty was a great team leader and still is a great team leader, he was awarded the alternate captain A while he was there at that time, which is a great accomplishment. But as we both know, Marty can you know, go off the deep end a little bit, and sometimes his leadership skills weren't needed. So what they would do is go up to him and they would take it right off his back. And sometimes it's not usually done like that, but that's what they had to do for a guy like him sometimes.
There it is. That website exists, and it originates here in Newton, dropthegloves.com. Andy, what are we glorifying here? What are we promoting here?
I'm not sure, but I was totally fascinated by that piece. You know, having played professional hockey and to know what it takes to do that job, that had my total attention. And I didn't know a number of those things actually took place. I know a lot of guys did certain
Knuckles,
things in order to have an advantage.
Knuckles, did you know about any of that stuff?
Well, I really didn't. I mean, I tied my shirt down like a lot of guys did, which was legal. You could have tie downs. I obviously see a guy who's passionate about the game, whether it's fighters or good players. I'm sure he enjoys the game of hockey. You got a great collection there, and if there's a market out there for those types of things, hockey fights on tapes, shirts such as enforcers shirts that people want to buy, and there's a market. I don't see why there's any reason why he can't provide that service.
Well, he obviously is, and we will be right back with more of Chris Nyland and Andy Brickley right after this. Welcome back to Lowell Lock Monster Hockey. After one period of play, the Monsters hold a 1-0 lead over the St. John's Flames in the first round of the Calder Cup playoffs. We're here with Brian Kurzman from DropTheGloves.com. Way over there is Jonathan Wright from DropTheGloves.com. And, well, this is Roger Maxwell from the Lowell Lock Monsters, I believe. Roger, thanks for joining.
No problem. Thank you very much.
I notice some of your equipment is up here. Does that helmet look familiar?
Oh, yeah, that's my helmet from last year's Calder Cup final. You know, I give it to Brian and Jonathan here. You know, they're good buddies of mine. They help me out with a lot of stuff. So it swings both ways, you know. I help them out as much as I can.
I see. All right, also your jersey's up there as well.
Oh, yeah, that's a little present I gave them, you know, because they give me a lot. They do a lot for me, a lot of scouting stuff that helps my game and stuff. So it's a little, we appreciate each other. Scratch my back, I scratch yours. And, you know, it's been a good relationship. So.
Right, stay right there. We're going to talk to Brian here. Brian Kurzman, DropTheGloves.com. What is DropTheGloves.com?
Well, we primarily deal in game-used enforcer equipment from the guys around the leagues, guys that like to drop the mitts a little bit, entertain it up for the fans. And these are actually the jerseys and the equipment right off their backs and right off their hands. The fans like to get a hand-on experience nowadays, and they want something for their collection that was actually on a guy like Roger's back. So to be able to have the jersey you won the Calder Cup in right behind us, it's something else, and it gives the fans a little bit something to see for their collections as well.
Now, fans have an opportunity to purchase some of these goods, I believe?
Indeed, all of our items are available at www.dropthegloves.com, and we have full pricing and description on everything that's out on the table, and we also have about 200 more sweaters in stock and various amounts of equipment from all leagues, all levels of play, but only from the cement mixers, only the guys that drop the mitts. If you look around on these ones, there won't be any super glue in any of these gloves, if you know what I mean. They let them go a little bit.
The first comment I was going to make, you may have heard Ray Bourque from the Bruins uses 4 different pairs of gloves a game, right, and they only last about... Now, these gloves, I mean, could they be more tattered and worn? Who were these gloves from?
These are worn by former lock monster Martin Later, and the reason why he has them out this far is also all he has to do is just wiggle his fingers and they come off. He can get 2 or 3 shots in before his gloves hit the ground.
Now, Roger, the gloves you use, do you have yours sliced that way so they come off easy?
No, I just wear big size gloves, you know. I take the insides out so they come off pretty easy. But I have no real equipment alterations, you know. What you see is what you get, more sense.
Period. So you didn't see the great goal by Eric Boulanger to give you the 1-0 lead.
Oh, you know, Billy's been playing really well. He's been going to the net. He's doing things he's been doing all season, you know. He's a great hockey player, a lot of speed. I saw he's sitting, you know, if you want goals in the playoffs, you put the puck on net, and that's what he's been doing.
Right. That's Roger Maxwell. We're going to move along here. By the way, folks, the score is 1-0 in the first period. The Monsters. Jonathan, can you show us a couple of these jerseys here? Now, this is
some examples of American League jerseys. We have Syracuse Crunch here. We have the now defunct
hanger. There we go.
This is the now defunct Utica Devils from the Boston Bruins ex Jamie Huscroft. Yeah. We have the Hershey Bears, one of the oldest AHL franchises. they've been in the league for over 60 years? Over 60 years, and they're actually tearing down the arena from what I understand. They're going to be building a new one, which is pretty unfortunate. But now, who's that? It should be nice. This is actually Brent Thompson's assistant captain's Hartford Wolfpack jersey from their inaugural season.
Yeah, but they're an affiliate of the Rangers.
Yep.
Have that shirt burned.
You got it.
Now, I want to move down here. Brian, come on. Okay, we're going to wrap this up. But, Brian, last thing, I want you to show me this jersey. What is this?
We got a inaugural sweater from the now defunct New Haven Beast of the American League. Fans didn't like that one too much. I wanted to get a chance to say hello to my family. That's as well, my mom and dad. How are you, folks?
Brian, we got to go. This is Brian Kurzman. It's dropthegloves.com. The score is Lowell 1, St. John nothing. We'll be back.
And Drop the Gloves, a local business that specializes in the art of war. When we come back, we'll introduce you to two guys who make hockey fights their business.
The story is truly unique. Two men of Oak Hill make a business out of hockey fights. Drop the Gloves is the name of their company, which sells sticks, gloves, and sweaters used by the baddest boys on the ice. While most people see punches, cuts, and a lot of blood,
Oh, baby, there's one on the button. Oh, did he get his arm loose there?
Brian Kruzman and Jonathan Wright see future merchandise.
The enforcers, the cement mixers, they're the most important part of the game. They're the most exciting part of the game. You go to a Bruins game and you'll be asleep by the second period. You see a lot of the banging around in the other teams and a lot of the enforcers. It puts butts in the seats, like we like to say, and it also makes it very, very exciting for the fans. Everybody gets up.
And very exciting for Drop the Gloves. The hockey company started by Kruzman when he worked for the Bruins. They sell pro hockey jerseys, sticks, and helmets of a select group of skaters, the Enforcers.
You could get two jerseys from the same guy and be from the same season and be completely different. The home will be different from the road. Like one might be ripped here from a fight that he had against Probert, or one might have big black marks against the back where he got whacked with a stick by Twist or something like that. So having each one be different really separates it and makes it a really unique collectible.
And their merchandise is definitely unique.
Was worn by former Bruin Alan Stewart. A lot of Bruin fans won't remember him, but the guy's a total nutcase. He went and he quit hockey to become a monk and got kicked out of the monastery there. Flew planes for he flew airlines for, I believe, Delta for commercial flights. They told him after a while to
Sounds like
get
the
out
kind
of
of guy
there.
you want to fly a plane.
Yeah, exactly. But you want him on your hockey.
In addition to Stewart's jersey, they have Bob Probert's stick with a sharpened blade, a tearaway sleeved jersey, and a razor-cut helmet.
This is Kevin Killer Kaminsky's helmet. He played for the Washington Capitals for a long time, and he also just had a brief stint with the Providence Bruins last year. And the interesting thing about this is what he does is he takes a scalpel and he'll cut all these little notches in the rim of the helmet so that if you miss his face and you whack the helmet, you're going to cut your hand up and you're going to need more than 5 minutes in the box before you can go back out on the ice and help your team out. So he's going to take out.
In addition to the hockey gear, Drop the Glove scouts out enforcers throughout the minors for other enforcers.
We do a lot of their scouting for them. What we'll do is put together a fight tape of opponents that they have to take on in the future matches so they can get a chance to see how the other guy's fighting style is, whether they're a lefty, whether they're a righty, whether they have to fight him with big bombs or short shots.
And while it is a business that demands 16-hour workdays, for Kruzman and Wright, it's all worth it during games like this.
This is one of the few cases both players are about the same size. Keane and Matthew Barnaby.
I'm Pat Turnock, Newton News, Newton Upper Falls.
Pat, that's the coolest business I've ever heard of.
Those guys, I don't know how they thought of a business like that, but.
What are the price ranges for those things?
The gloves, they said, go for like $300–400, and they got jerseys that go, depends on what people will pay, but between $1,000 to $1,500 on average. But they got jerseys like Ray Bork's Stanley Cup jersey at $5 grand, and he said he won't sell it. He's going to wait till he retires because it'll triple.
And if you want to get in touch with them, what do you do?
They have a website, dropthegloves.com, and you can make an appointment to stop by their office down there in Upper Falls.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
On buyer beware.
Unfortunately, everybody knows that greed is behind it.
He paid hundreds for a jersey he believed was worn by one of his favorite sports stars, only to discover it was a fake. You won't believe where Susan Warnick's investigation led.
There are a couple guys at the DropTheGloves.com who gave us a lot of that fight footage. Brian and Jonathan, they obviously appreciate a guy like Terry O'Reilly, and there's more with Nifty Taz and Brad when we come back, and they'll show off their scars and talk about one of Boston's most beloved coaches, Don Cherry. Stay with us.